Hey Vesta, can you hear me? Good evening. Thank you for being here. Hi Lori. How is everybody doing after Turkey Day? I finished my leftovers from my neighbor for lunch today. Boy, is she a good cook. I don't think I've had cooking like that in a long time. It was delicious. Hi, Jean. Oh, Jean. Frigid North Dakota, I can only imagine. Hi, Pam. Okay, great that you can hear me. Wonderful. So how cold is cold, Jean? It's supposed to get down to 19 here tonight with a high of 27 tomorrow. And further east, like towards Pennsylvania, they're getting pounded with snow. They actually had to close I-90 because it was so bad. Hi, Linda. Thank you for being here. Good. We've got several people joining. For those of you who are new and just popping in because you want to see what this is about, my name is Julie Heights, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Northwest Ohio, Toledo specifically. And I was a quilter before moving into paper crafting. It was quilting first, and then scrapbooking, and then card making, and then back to quilting, and then back to card making. And I found that I could combine those two loves of mine and be very satisfied with combining the two of them. And I just love making quilt cards. So I hope that you will enjoy. Just follow my page if you like card making and quilts, and I hope that you get inspired. And if you've never tried quilting with paper, creating quilt blocks with paper, please follow me, and I hope that you give it a try. But every month I offer a barn quilt card kit, and you get everything that you need to create the two cards. In the PDF, you'll get a bonus pattern. Maybe I'll give you different sizes to make the blocks bigger. Sometimes it might be a different layout. Whatever during the time that I'm creating, an idea pops up, then I include something a little extra in the PDF. And if you want the kit, it's $15 a month. If you want just the PDF, it's $12.50 a month. That way, if you're outside of the United States, you can still participate, because even though I'm not allowed to send you a kit, you can get the PDF and you can craft along. So, -4. Oh boy, that's cold. Oh boy, yikes. Hi, Kathy. And hi, Linda in Texas. Probably doesn't get chilly too often there in Texas, does it? Oh, Lori, you're supposed to get down to 15. Whew. Hi, Diane. Hi, Linda. Got so many Lindas on tonight. Hey, Jean, are you snowed in? Jean, I was, you and Tony. How are you guys doing with all that lake effect snow? Susan's here from Australia. Yay. Hi, Mindy. Linda, it's in the teens in Minnesota. Wow. Yeah. Oh boy. Susan says it's hot and steamy here in Victoria, Australia. So this is your summer, huh, Susan? We're all pretty envious of that right now. Hi, Betty. I'm so glad that you're on. Hey, Betty, I ordered my garden stands to make the quilt flags that you had shared with us over in the community group. For those of you who are new and watching, we have a community group. It's called Quilt Cards and More. It's a private group, and you can get to it from my page. You do have to answer some joining questions because I'm trying to keep people who shouldn't be in that group in there. And we do a lot of sharing, and I'm pretty free with letting everybody use whatever they have, and I get that from my upline, Karen Titus. It's more important that you are creating. So I don't have any rules that says that you can only post your projects if they use Stampin' Up! Products. I want you to use what you have. So over in that group, we do a lot of sharing, and it's not just that they made the card I did on Thursday. It's very, very, we share a lot. So you're going to want to be a part of that group. Yeah, Linda, it's not, well, it's going to be December, like, I don't know, is it Monday? Monday's December? Thank you for sharing, Kathy. Oh, and Linda, she ordered some stands too. Man, Betty, you should get some kind of a royalty because you turned us on to those quilt flags, and we're getting the stands for them. So, Julie, hello. Okay, so let's get started. So November's barn quilts, I had seen this beautiful fabric that were these colors that you see in front of you. And I played and played with where I wanted the colors to fall. And this has got to be one of my favorite color combinations since doing the barn quilts. You know, we have come a long way since I did the first one in October of 2020, keeping it very simple, and then trying, the quilt patterns look hard, but they're not. I try to find shortcuts so that it doesn't look as hard, that they don't go together as hard as they look. So, but this is like one of my favorite color combinations, and I have to give kudos to that piece of fabric that I had seen. And there's inspiration everywhere around us to find color combinations that work. Stampin' Up! Does a wonderful job of putting the coordinating colors on packs of designer series paper. So I'll look at designer series paper. There might be one sheet in there that the colors really speak to me, and I'll pull a color combination out of that. But it can be fabric, it can be paper. I've looked at paintings before in the doctor's office and thought, oh my gosh, those colors look so good together. And I'm taking a picture of their picture because in the future I might want to use them. Hi, Ian. So glad you're here. Hey, Tony's on. Tony, you and Jean, are you getting snowed in? I-90 near Erie was closed down. I don't know if they've reopened it, but it was on the news that they've got it closed down because of the snow coming down so hard. And Betty says, I accidentally hit some emoji. Well, sometimes I see angry emojis and I think, I'm pretty sure somebody, I'm hoping they didn't mean it, but sometimes it's just, you know, fingers hit the wrong thing. So let's get into the first card, and I've got my PDF right here beside me. So you get a PDF with the kit also, and I'm going to set that off to the side. We're going to start with this block right here first. because I'm going to just keep that PDF near me. I've got one block already done, so you don't have to watch me have to emboss it and everything. And I've got my pieces here. Now, I ask that if you get the kit, that you have all of your pieces of cardstock cut and ready to go, because I don't go over the measurements while we are live. If you want the measurements, then get a hold of me. If you don't get the kit or you don't currently get the PDF, then we can work that out and I can send you an invoice and then you can get the measurements. So we're going to go with this one here, and it's based on, this quilt block is based on a 9-patch grid. So a 9-patch, and I know it's going to be hard to see because I'm using Night of Navy instead of a light color as my background. And in pencil, I have put a 9-patch grid, which there are 9 squares of equal size. Okay, so it's a little hard to see. And that white piece is going to be the frame for our quilt. And I've got my pieces here, got my glue ready, and we're going to start with our largest triangles. Ooh, don't want to lose that. And these are done in crushed curry and lemon lolly. And these triangles are going to go in the first, the third, the seventh, and the 9th square on your grid that you've drawn. And they're going to sit with the this corner here is going to sit right to the inside. Okay, and I like to do a dry run to make sure that my cutting was good. So I'm just going to lay these triangles, half square triangles, in the corners that they're supposed to be in. The pencil lines are helping me with placement and helping keep me straight. Because just like in regular quilting, you want your seams to match up so that everything goes together and looks flawless. So now that I have my half square triangles in there, do you want me to make it a little bit bigger? Oh, Jean, you don't have any snow? Oh my goodness. Let me see if I can just zoom in a little bit here. Hold on. You got to find the sweet spot when you're... Now, Facebook used to let us... Well, it doesn't seem to be letting me zoom in, you guys. I don't know. Maybe Facebook did some kind of an update, but it won't let me zoom. And so once you're okay with your pieces and you find that you don't need to... Oh my goodness, hold on. I gotta put a pin in my... I just used this glue downstairs. There we go. Boy, that made me forget what I was even talking about. Well, if it's important, it'll come back to me. Here we go. A fine tip applicator really helps with putting the glue on your pieces, because we work with tiny pieces. These are little miniature quilt blocks. I mean, they can be as small as 2 inches or they can be as big as 2 1/4 inches. So we're talking mini quilt blocks here. And you do a dry run because you find if your cutting was off a little bit, depending on how off you are or how particular you are with your cutting, you sure don't want to find that you didn't cut right when you've already got glue on the back of your cardstock. So it'll save you a lot of time and aggravation if you just put it down there without any adhesion, just to make sure you don't have to cut a piece over again. And with the liquid glue, it gives me a little bit of slip so that I can move it around and get it to where I need it to be. So we've got our 4 corners in there. And now what we're going to do is we're going to start putting our triangles that sit in the middle squares. And I've got 2 different colors. We've got Balmy Blue, and we got Lost Lagoon. And we are going to fill that gap between the corner blocks, or the corner squares, and the same color is opposite of each other. And what am I looking for here? I just want to make sure that the long side of these triangles are taking up the room between the corner squares. And as long as there is not a huge gap in there on either side, I go with it. Because if you're going to quilt your block and put it through the rollers of your cut and emboss machine or whatever machine you use, that helps flatten out the paper, and sometimes you may have a little tiny gap, and by the time you've quilted it, it's been pushed where it needs to go and you don't see it. So, but it's, just trying it out before you actually glue it down is a good thing. Now, I am going to move these pieces kind of out of the way because I want to practice some muscle memory here. And I am going to put this up here at the top. Now I want it to the outside edge, but I don't want it going beyond my base here. And once that one's done, now this color here is going to be opposite here. So when I rotate my block a quarter of a turn counterclockwise, when my triangle is going to go up each time to the exact same spot. I've got to remember to change the color. Okay? So if we just did Balmy Blue, then I want to come in with Lost Lagoon. I'm going to turn it a quarter of a turn. And when you turn it, you get a good idea if you're all the way out to the edge there. But if you can get into the habit of your hand going to the same place each time, I think it makes it easier. I think it just then feels natural. Okay, quarter of a turn, and we'll come in with the Lost Lagoon. Okay, and you can see that my points are touching. So just like in fabric sewing of a quilt block, we're aiming to get our points touching. So if you're a quilter, you'll understand where we're going here. And then our large square of Pool Party, I am going to be trying to match up my points to the sides, the top, and the bottom. And it should also fit right in, it should just lay in there. If your block is a little too big, you may want to shave off what you need. But remember, to keep it square, if you shave off one side, you have to shave the a corner that touches that side off also in order to keep it square. If you only you'll make it a rectangle if you don't do two sides. And that doesn't look too bad to me. So, just going to put this. There we go. Just trying to get my points. There, it sits in there really, really nice. So that's the easy block. The next one's easy too. It just looks like it's a little bit more complicated. It's easy. So that is the first barn quilt. What I would do is I would run it through an embossing folder. This is the subtle embossing folder. It is retired, but it is my favorite for barn quilts. You just want, for me, what I like is a pattern that is subtle so that it doesn't take away from the quilt block, but you can do whatever you like. It's your block. I guess I'm trying to just stay true to the actual barn quilt that's hanging on a barn or somebody's garage, and it looks like wood. So I'm just thinking, that's my thinking. And so once that's run through the embossing folder, then this square will get centered on that frame of basic white, and it'll be good to go. So I will finish this one up later. And this one that is already done, I'm going to set it aside because that will go on our card base. What is the red thing that is on my glue bottle? It's a rubber band, and it's holding my nozzle. I have a little device that was sent to me. It fell off, and I just haven't put it back on yet. But so until I do, I just put a rubber band on there. I was actually using it without anything there, and it's flapping all over the place, and it just became aggravating. So I found a rubber band and put that on there. Hey, Betty in Michigan, how are you? Oh, Betty, are you guys getting a lot of snow? Because you are up there. I'm just wondering if that lake effect is coming across on you. And Pam says she made her cards yesterday and used the new 3D embossing folder. Which one? Is that the one that is, wow, there's the one that kind of looks like a knitted, like cable pattern or a sweat. I can't think of what it is. And then there's the pre-order one that kind of looks like the paint, but it's a plaster or something. I don't have that one either. So which new one did you get, Pam? Because I'm really curious as to what you used. Kathy says she's going full screen. Oh gosh, that just makes me nervous. Shirley, hello in Canada. You've only got a dusting, really? I guess I just figure that anybody in Canada, you guys get a lot of snow. Oh, for the next 3 days, Betty, you've got it nonstop. Oh. But isn't the first snow so beautiful? You know what I miss is when my husband was working, he's retired now, I would get up couple hours before his alarm would go off, and I would go outside and start shoveling the driveway, and my neighbors would be out at the same time. We loved it. We would talk to each other. It's peaceful. The snow, oh my gosh, I just absolutely loved it. You won't get me out there now if I'm in my nice warm bed and he doesn't have to go anywhere. But the two of us, we love shoveling snow. So this is going to be our second barn quilt. I just love this. I just love this. I love this block here because whether you put it on point or you keep it square, it's pretty either way. So again, we've got our grid on our piece of Night of Navy. And instead of working on the outside, we're going to start right in the center. So this square of crushed curry is going to go right in the center of our block. And for right now, I can go ahead and I can just paint some Tombow in there. And then just set my square in there, and I'm just looking at those pencil lines, making sure I'm straight, that I'm in the center. Okay. And we've got 4 tiny squares of lemon lolly. And these 4 squares are going to sit at the corners of the crushed curry, but just to the outside. So when you're looking at your square here, your pencil lines are going to help keep 2 sides of your square straight. Okay? So we can go ahead and put those down. Now I'm going to start up here at the top, and then I'm just going to keep turning my block. I want to get that little bit of glue out of there. I'm going to just turn it a little bit. Whoops. This one's going to go up here. Turn it a way that your hands are comfortable. Okay, and turn it. Okay, and turn it one more time. And put that last little square in there. Okay, doesn't look too shabby. And now we've got 4 squares of Lost Lagoon that are the same size, and they're going to fill in our outer corners. And here I am going to play with making sure that they fit the space. If I'm too narrow somewhere, then maybe that it's in my cutting, so I'm just going to keep playing there. That one works a lot better, so that one's going to go there. This one, I think he's going to end up in that other corner. That one's not too bad there. So come on, little guy, you've got to work over here. And he does. Yay! So now that I know where their corners are going to be, then I'm just going to start up here. Now you could use your reverse tweezers to handle your squares. This one's getting a little too much to the outside. I'm going to turn it a quarter. Put this guy back in that corner. turn it. Each time my hand is going right up to the same spot. Uh-oh, I just got some glue where I don't want it. I'm going to turn it and put this last square in. Okay. I'm happy with that. And then we'll go back to our beginning. And now what we've got is we've got 2 squares of balmy blue and 2 squares of pool party. Again, they're going to be opposite. The same color is going to be opposite of each other. And when I lay my square down, I am looking at matching up the corners that go horizontally with getting as close to those 2 corners of the lemon lolly squares. So I'm going to match up my corners. And again, right now I'm just playing with where they sit. Just in case I don't have to move one around to the other side to see if it works better. And sometimes flipping your square over seems to make a difference. Okay, so I like that. So now I can start gluing these pieces down. Now I have some pencil lines that are showing, so once we're all done, I'm going to have to bring in my eraser and get rid of those. I'm going to turn it. Okay. Turn it once more. I think this is the first time I've used a background, a colored background, this dark. Usually my backgrounds are always a light color. This time when I played around with colors and where I wanted them to fall, and the fabric itself, it was a navy blue background. So that gave me a little push to try it. Normally that would kind of scare me. But now that I've done a dark background, it's like, oh, whoops, let's turn this. I'm going to be trying it more often because it's very stunning. And who doesn't like Night of Navy? It's like the most gorgeous color. Okay, so just going to give that glue a minute here. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to erase my pencil lines. I did not score, Kathy. I used a pencil so that you would be able to see it during the live. The Night of Navy, I think even scoring it just for myself personally, I think it would be a little hard to see that score line. So I used pencil this time. Oh, yeah, and Lemon Lolly with Night of Navy. Oh, my goodness. Hey, Ornetta, hello. Thank you for being here. Hi, Pam. Yes, Pam, each additional step changes the block, and that's the great thing about quilt blocks. You can get so many patterns out of what is your basic pattern. When you add another piece, whether that's a triangle or something else, the simplest pattern can become so many different, more beautiful patterns. That's what I love about quilting, is that it never gets boring. Never gets boring. Hi, Gail. Oh, windy and chilly, 15 degrees. Ooh. Okay. And Shirley says her sister lives in Winnipeg, minus 18 with the wind chill, minus 27. I am not ready for that. I am not ready. Oh. But you know, those snow days are nice when you're inside and you're nice and cozy, whether you're crocheting or knitting or whatever it is that you're doing, and that you could just look out the window and see the snow gently falling, but you're all nice and warm and cozy. I love it. Okay, I'm going to go in and I am just going to erase these pencil lines. I prefer a white eraser because it doesn't leave dirty streaks and stuff on your paper like a pink eraser can. So I love a white eraser. And you get 3 of these in a pack at Walmart. So if you don't have a white eraser, I would recommend it. So our quilt block is done. Again, run it through an embossing folder. You're going to frame it with that square of basic white. And I have one, this one's done, so this one will get done later. And I forgot to bring in the other card. So here are, and you can put this one on point. You can see what they look like square, and you can see what they look like on point. So when you get to putting your card together, you can kind of determine what you like. I've already put my card bases and my inserts together. So I'm going to do the exact opposite of what I did with my samples, because I want to see how they both look. So we'll get those out of the way. And our card bases are Night of Navy. And your inserts you had to cut down to fit the inside. And you also, when you get your kit, the embossing is already done on the front of your card base, for the front of your card base. It's already embossed for you. So I just had to cut down those 2 pieces also. But I'm good. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to hang the barn quilts on my card. So I'm going to use dimensionals to do that. So I know I want this one on point. So I'm just going to flip it over. This one I want square. Going to flip it over. And I like to put a dimensional in each corner to keep those corners down so that they don't curl up. And then one in the middle because I don't want a saggy barn quilt. So, outer 4 corners. Keep those corners from curling. And then one in the middle. And now we'll just take the backings off. And I think I'm going to stand up for this part. Hopefully not be in the way here. Okay, go with that. And then this one. Oh, I'm going to bring it over. Well, you know what? Let's trade places with them so that I can make sure that I can kind of make sure that I'm straight. Oh, I didn't take the backings off. I'm like, why is that slipping and sliding? Well, Julie, you gotta take the backings off. Just gonna lay it down gently and then take a look at it. That's good. Okay, so there our barn quilts are done. They're hanging on our stone barn there, or stone garage, or whatever you want that texture to be. And now what I'm going to do, Beth is here. Hi, Beth. How's everything up in Maine? Oh, thanks, Linda. I know I can't pick a favorite. Oh, Linda, I'm so glad. I was watching that game before I came up here. Ooh, Georgia Tech is beating Georgia. Okay, that'll be interesting to see what that's going to end up like. My big game is tomorrow. Ohio State, Michigan play tomorrow. So, go Bucks. So, here were the two barn quilts. And then for an alternative that I gave you, if you wanted to maybe change up our basic A2, I gave you the directions. We're still using the same pieces that you get in your kit, but we just did a fun fold, and I added a square of Night of Navy behind our block, and then it just opens this way. When I cut down the embossed cardstock to fit this panel, instead of throwing these small pieces away, I just put them on either side on the sides of the basic white. And all we did is we cut this down, and I didn't cut this part off and then throw this away. I just folded this over because now I've got a nice thickness right here, because I've got the full, the 4 by 5 and a quarter piece of basic white for the insert is all the way under there. And then when I folded the flap over, now I've got a nice sturdy piece over here. It's not flimsy. And then just added some embellishments. So that was just an alternative layout to do with one of your blocks. Oh my goodness, I got some glue here. And those instructions are in the PDF. Oh, you thought it was a bookbinding fold. Nope, just you know, I don't even know what you would call this, you guys. But I just thought it was different. And you can see how just putting another square, and the square behind it is the same size as my square that frames the quilt block. You wouldn't think so when you're looking at it, but I think it is. Hold on, let me see. Yep, same size. It just looks smaller when it's square and looks bigger when it's on point. It like grows magically. So those were November's card kits. If you're wondering how to sign up for this kit, on the Chirpy page near the top, there should be, under featured or something like that, a Google form. If you're interested and you can't find the Google form, message me and I will send you the link. And then that way you can fill that out with all your information. You'll tell me if you want it in a PDF or if you want the kit. And then I will set you up in PayPal. And invoices go out the 9th of every month. The kit mails on the 15th. And within a few days after that, in your inbox, in your email, will be the PDF. I try to time the PDF to when you're getting your kits in the mail, So it's a couple of days after they mail that I send out the PDF. And then at the end of the month, I do a live. Okay? So, how many want to see what December looks like? So December's block might make you hungry. It might give you a sweet tooth. Let's see, how else can I describe this? Because with the colors, it's cold outside, so think of a sweet treat that's cold. And I am looking ahead to February. So when we do these at the end of December, you've got plenty of time in case you would want to use these for Valentine's Day. Me? Yes, okay. Okay. Here's our cards for December. And my inspiration came from the Designer Series paper that is the marvelously, and it's downstairs, marvelous or marbled, gosh dang it, Julie, marbled something. It's new. It's in the Valentine's stuff for online exclusives. But anyway, well, here, I can show you. Duh, it's on the back. So this was my inspiration. But when I was thinking about, okay, what color is going to tie all of this down? Well, I went with early espresso, and right away I'm thinking chocolate-covered cherries. But you know what got me? I was thinking of Neapolitan ice cream. So, this is why you might have a sweet tooth now. Because I was thinking with the chocolate and the strawberry and the vanilla, all I could think of was Neapolitan ice cream. So, hey Debbie, hello. So that was my inspiration. But what I did was I tied in that Designer Series paper to give it some more interest, and I put a half a strip on the back. If you've watched me for any time, length of time, I love to just put a piece of Designer Series paper on the back. And then I put my button right in the middle. Now, this strip here is just the B side to this strip. So I take a 3-inch strip, I cut 2 1/8 off for my back, and then whatever is left over, that becomes an accent strip for the inside. And these little hearts are so cute. So that became the inside to my 2 blocks. So this is for December. But I just, it's so bright. The computer doesn't make it look as bright as it is in person. But these colors together are so yummy that I'm like, oh my goodness, this could work for Valentine's Day. And if you don't use them for Valentine's Day, it's a beautiful color combination. So we've got Melon Mambo, Real Red, Cherry Cobbler, Petal Pink, Flirty Flamingo, and they're all tied together with the pink, what's our new in color? Pretty in Pink. It's all tied together with Pretty in Pink, and to set it all down, early espresso. So that is your sneak peek into what December's kit is going to look like. And I hope you like it. I really enjoyed putting it together. And we'll come back in and bring in tonight's cards. And this, remember, this, whoops, this is upside down. This was an alternative layout that I gave you as a little extra. So we don't want this month to be over just yet, because I am so proud of this color combination. I just love it. But there was tonight's. They do, Beth, and yes, a heart of gold could be in the center. Now, I will tell you that you're going to get a heart in your kit. It's going to be a Melon Mambo heart, but if you have any other hearts, small hearts from a punch, or you've got a die, then if you want to change out this heart, please feel free. But you're going to get a Melon Mambo heart in your kit. And I want to pull something out here. I had a hard time looking at what heart dies. I gave my heart punches away. But I did end up finding this heart right here. This is retired. This was the Give It a Whirl die set. And this heart right here fit nicely. The next size up was, it was too big. It actually laid over the tips of these squares here. So, yeah, so I didn't do that. I just used a smaller one. So that's the kit for next month. And you can change out anything you want, but your kit will come with one heart, okay? And if you don't want to use that heart, you could use the Melon Mambo heart and put it in the center of the other square. And then if you want to make a gold one you do it how you want to, but you're going to get one, you're going to get a heart with it, so. Oh, Julie, I'm sorry you've got a headache. I hope I didn't add to it with my rambling. So yeah, yes, Marbled Elegance. That's it, Vesta. Thank you. So I'm going to let you guys go for tonight. I hope that maybe some of you have a long weekend because of the holiday. Maybe some of you are tired because you were out shopping on Black Friday. But just have a very nice weekend. Stay safe if the weather is not good where you're at. And I will see you next Thursday morning with a mystery quilt block. So until then, have a very blessed evening. For those of you further west, it's still not that. You still got a lot of hours in your day. So have a blessed late evening. And I'll talk to everybody later. Oh, you're welcome, Shirley. You're welcome, Betty.